Good morning, how are you? I hope you've had a fantastic Christmas. And today, it's a bit of an unboxing and it's a bit of a setup. Now, I've never, ever, ever had a rings planner. Well, I say never, ever, ever. Is that not a song? Never, ever have I. Yeah. Well, anyway, I did have a Filofax in the day. I did. And I think it was a rings. I did. And I used it a lot. I can remember that. And I think it was red. It might have been red crocodile. Yeah, because that's the sort of finish I like. I like crocodile and I like shiny and yeah. Bit of a bling. It goes into everything. And I've got all my planners. I think we've established I've got about 9,999 planners, haven't I? So I thought, well, add one more to the mix. And this is a rings one. And I like leather planners, I do. So this is a leather or a Estelle planner. So, ooh, exciting, exciting. And it's only tiny, but it's not too tiny. And I wanted something. You say, Karen, what? Why did you buy another planner? I wanted something I could leave open and see what it is I'm meant to do each day. So I can then do my daily plans. So, yeah. So let's move all of this from my background. And we're going to do like a semi setup. But I wanted to show people how to actually put pages into the rings. And if you know how to do this, then please forgive me. But I struggled, and I like to think I'm quite intelligent. And I struggled. So I figured if I struggled, others will struggle as well who are equally as intelligent. So yeah, so I got this, and it's a black leather with a pink interior. Now I have to say, I have been eyeing this up forever. I think it was once I first discovered Aura Estelle, and it was leather and it's pink and it's black. I just, yeah, because it's everything, isn't it? So you've got your two pockets there. You've got your little, I don't know what that's for. Oh, it's so you can change it. You can have it tighter. So you've got 3 different loop positions there for your clasp. Now, it is only one clasp. But I did see something. I'm sure I could have got it extended, or was that on a different site? That might have been a Motrin. But yeah, see, I've got my little pockets here, so I can put some decoration in it and some more here. But it is my first time, and I've got some strings. But at the moment, I'm just going to use the rings. And I just wanted something I can look at and forward planning. That I got space, but I could still decorate. So that was the whole reason I got this, and it's lovely. And this was actually a Christmas present off my mum and dad. So yeah, because they are quite expensive, and also to get them shipped to the UK. And I think this one had, I think it had 10% off it, and they didn't show you a photo, it just got 10% off it. But when I first opened it, it was like a ridge, but that is just the ridge from where all of these are inside. So I actually think it's pretty perfect. So I just got to chunk it up, haven't I? So I'm super excited. I'm now in the rings gang. FOMO is real. So that's what we're going to be setting up today. And I can start using it then, can't I? Today's the 29th of December, so yeah, we're going to do a bit of back planning for yesterday. So the first thing, I messaged my friend Caroline, and you all know her as Princess Honey, and I was like, what do I need? Because like, yeah, I'm a bit like needy when it comes to new things, because like any of us, we've never had one before, have we? So we just don't know what it is we need. So she said, you need a hole punch. So I've got one of these, and this is the brand that she recommended to me, Rapes Co. And so we're going to try and figure out how to use it. And I've already got my paper cutter, but I did invest in the bigger one. I did have the small one, but that's now gone into our workspace for our mystery boxes so I can cut the labels down when I ship them. So that's permanently in there instead of in and out, in and out. And I chose this one. It was on Amazon, and I chose it because it got all the different paper sizes. So if I am getting it right, well, I'm hoping I don't need to figure it out, to be honest. Now, there's something I've got a catch. Oh, that's it there on the top. That's it, and it'll lift it up. So if I'm getting this right, if I put my paper here, that's actually the A5 cutting space. But yeah, we've got to figure that out when we do this. But we haven't got to figure it out when I do these, because I've got to get some inserts. Now, I printed off a shed load, as you can see, and I'm not going to need all of those today. But what I did was I got it wrong to start with. I got it terribly wrong. And some of them, as my printer, because I've only got a regular HP printer, and it's not the best, and sometimes if the paper, you know the sidebars that you have to squish together to get your paper snug, yeah, it doesn't grip and it flops out. And so sometimes when it's dragging the paper, you can really hear it like a tractor, I suppose, and that's like a belt mark, so I didn't want that. And then also, these printables I got from Jasenia Printables, but I actually ordered them on Black Friday, so I had them. And when I was printing them out, you see, sometimes I forgot to turn the paper over. When some of them I was printing them out, did I throw those ones away? Yeah, I put the paper in portrait instead of horizontal. And when I did it in portrait, the weekly boxes were just long. So it is really difficult the first time you print off inserts, because you don't really know what you're doing. I don't understand why that went black, but it did. Right, so these I think I'm using. Those I think I'm using. Possibly. Not sure. Pop those to the side. I thought I'd put paper clip around everything. But as you can see, these ones, I'll stop that mid-print. These ones, I forgot to turn it over. So for anyone who's starting, once you've purchased your Jasenia printers or your Annie plans or whoever you decide to get your inserts from, if you're not creating them your own, you download it and then you do it one by one. And if on the picture it's showing a page wider than the others that are this way, it means you've got to turn your on your printer settings, you've got to print it as landscape, not portrait. If not, you'll end up something massive. And I ordered and purchased the personal wide ring, so that shouldn't have happened. It's just I was inserting the paper incorrectly. Then you print it off. You don't do it as a bulk, you do it one by one. You print it out, that comes out your printer, and then you put it back in. And with my printer, I have to put it in face up, because then it'll print on the bottom. And you go to the second slide and you print that off. And what you're actually doing is creating a book. And then once you cut them all, they will all naturally fit into place. So, with that being said, shall we see? Shall we have a go? I might not need all these practice pages. So let's have a go and see how we get on. So, I've figured it out. What you've got to do is go clockwise. So, I've got it out. I've opened my arm here. So I've opened it up, and this is just with Jasenia printables. So, whoops, let's do it down here. So I've got to line those two lines up with my, let's zoom in a bit. So I've got to line those 2 points up and cut. Then you just got to flip it. You've got to just keep going clockwise. You just got to get it on the line. Whoops. And cut. And then again on the line. You're only going to have one line, but so long as it's, is the word perpendicular or straight up against your cutting edge there, you're fine. And then what I've done is, because that last bit, I don't want to keep having to put pencil mark on to figure out when we've got to cut. So if I zoom in here, what I've done, I don't know if you can see, is there is for the length mark and that there is for the width mark. So by doing that, then hopefully, because I've got all the other cutting marks on it, I should be okay. So I'm now going to just put that in to there. So it's now lined up with that mark there. And we're going to cut that. And so then I've got my page cut. Now then what I'm doing is I'm then just clipping it straight away into my paper cutter to put the holes in, making sure everything's lined up to the marks. So that's in. And one last thing I'm doing, this page is a fold over page, so I've got to fold that over first. So get that there. But I'm liking it so that the corners are round, so they're not too sharp. So I've got one of these hole cutters. Not hole cutters, I should say. What they say, it just rounds the corner page. Page corner rounder thingy. So I've just done, as you can see, it's just a really, really, really little round, rather than it being really sharp. So there you go, so it's just really round opposed to being really sharp at that end. And so what I'm going to do is on this little rounder, shove it in, get it in as far as it'll go, right up against the lines, click it. Only do it on the small one, it'll round it, because when I open it up, it's going to have that little paper dip in it. So it's just going to have that very slight paper dip in it. But that's fine, because then it'll fold. And then the one last thing I'm doing, because I don't want to keep opening the rings, because people say that they wear out and what have you, so, and they don't meet them properly. So then all I'm doing is with a pair of scissors is I'm just putting a snip like so, and then into my planner I can then just literally just a bit like a happy planner if you like. So that's in like that. So I've done a few, been figuring it out as I'm going, so I'm going to do a few more and then I'm all ready to start a plan with me. Yay! So that's exciting. So I'm super excited. So I've done it all now. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a jiggy about. So I'm still going to have that as my opening page. So I've got some vellum even. I've even got some acetate even maybe. And this was from Josephine Bow Designs. Look at that, it's just beautiful. And then I've got my own acetate with my channel name on. So what I want to go in next is this year. Now I'm only slitting the holes on the things that I'm going to be taking in and out. So this is another Decennial printables even. So it's just got the year 2021. So that's going in there. So I can mark off things I need to do each week in there. Then I've got my monthly. So for my monthlies, what I've actually printed off, sorry, what I've cut up is I've got this from the Sparkly Paper Co. So yeah, so I've got a bit of Louis Vuitton going on there. So let's put that in as well. And then I've got my monthlies here. Because again, these ones I don't plan on taking in and out because it's just everything I need to plan going forward. It's gone so dark outside, it's unbelievable. I think I'm going to turn my lights up just a little bit. Oh, it's getting a balance, isn't it? So those are those. So those can go in there. Oops, let's get all the lines to align up. So they're all in there. Then in front of my weekly, I've got this. And I think this is lovely. And this again is from, I think the star one was from Josephine Bow. And then the vellum underneath, that's from Sparkly Paper Co. Look at that, it's just beautiful. So I thought I'd put that in there because you know me, I like some bling. So let's close that up there and flip it to the end, and then I need something at the end. And so here, these are from Josephine Bow Designs, and it's the shooting stars with that underneath. I think this is called the gingerbread design. So I don't know if they're meant to go together, but they are on mine. It's a really lovely thick acetate. And then that'll just go in there. So that's the start of my setup. Can you believe that? super excited. Now I've got tabs coming and everything, because obviously I can't find anything otherwise, can I? So I'm going to be marking things on the year, so like things like when I have to give the dogs their injections and all things like that. But yeah, so I love that. So now I can actually start planning and do a plan with me, and it can't. I'm super excited. So if you've never set up your own rings before and you were struggling, that's how I've done mine. Yes, it is tricky getting all your measurements, but once you've got your measurements and you mark it on your hole punch and on your paper cutter with obviously a permanent pen so it won't come off, then you're good to go. But once I've got another Stackry box on the way, and I've got some lovely things, so we'll set this up properly then. But at least I've got the basics and I can start using it. So yeah, I'm super excited. So join me in the next video, and who knows, it might even be a plan with me in this, and maybe I'm going to record it next. Yeah. That's how it always goes, isn't it? But thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, it's never too late to get happily planning. Bye for now. Bye.